The hotel is made up of 7 buildings, including a monastery complete with its own church. Up to a dozen Augustine monks live on property, and I'm about to meet one of the leaders of the order. I was there to meet Father Juan Provecho, a Spanish priest who has made Prague and this monastery his home. Firstly, tell me the history of this church, please.
The history of this church is very interesting. We must go back to 13th century, 1286, when with the Augustinian we came here to this place because the king Wenceslav II gave us some property here. So we begin with the construction of this beautiful church.
Okay, so I understand that the artworks here are just incredible and priceless. Please tell me about them.
The Augustinian always during many centuries was like a very important order here in the Czech Republic. Now we are only 6 brothers here in the monastery, but during 15th, 16th, 17th century was in this monastery always at around 50, 60 Augustinian. So, and they were doing a nice work here in St. Thomas, having influence in all Malastrana in this part of the city. They produce beer, St. Thomas beer, and they have money. So because they have money and they have a lot of sponsors, they have the possibility to have a good art in this church. For example, in the main altar, we have these 2 pictures. Down is the martyr of St. Thomas, and up is St. Augustine. And these two pictures are originally from Rubens.
Wow.
From Rubens.
The Order of the Monks own those Rubens.
Yeah.
But another reason I really wanted to come here is because the monastery houses one of the greatest collection of medical books in the world.
Not only medical books, but we have at around medical books around 400 from 16th, 17th century, 18th century, but we have also a nice library with more than 17,000 books. So you go, and I can show you now all these books. Not only the medical one, but also the historical, philosophical, mathematics, and so on. Okay, so come on.
Thank you. Father, all I can say is, wow, I'm surrounded by historical books. I mean, they look so old. What do they date back to?
The oldest that we have here in this library is 1474.
How have they managed to remain in one piece for so long, for centuries? How has that happened?
That happened because always till 1948, 1950, always were here Augustinians, and for the Augustinians, the cultural things and the studies are very important. So that's the reason why the library was one of the places of the monastery more important, and always we have 1 or 2 brothers that they were working here.
You know, I could spend all day talking to you about this place. It's amazing.
I think that not only 1 day, but 2 or 3 days.
Now we have a book here that I'm allowed to touch it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So how old is this book? Firstly,
this is 1672. 1672 is one of the books of medicine that we have. We had at around, like I told you in the chart, at around 400 books of medicine.
So this is 17th century. I mean, I'm looking at one here, and with my basic knowledge of Latin, we've got fir, we've got cinnamon, we've got black pepper. So they would put together all these herbs, spices,
how
chemicals.
In 17th century they prepare medicines.
And I can imagine even today we are using some of these formulas to prepare drugs.
Of course.
And it's not just medical books that you have here, philosophical books, I can imagine music books.
We have music book. I'm going to show you this for example.
I'll move this.
Please move this. And they were music book that you can open. I think that is experience for you also. I do almost every day.
So you have
wood.
Wood.
And these are books that they use it in the choir when the priest every day they met to pray. Now we meet the monks. Every day we pray together 3 or 4 times,
Yeah.
and we have all of us. We have our own book. But at that time they have 1 or 2 books like this one,
Yeah.
and then they would put in the middle, and then they were singing, look into this.
Father Juan, you know, I travel so much. I see so many wonderful things. I do so many wonderful things. But this is going to be one of the most memorable things of the year because
I'm happy.
to be able to connect with history in this way is
I guess
it's
you are-
unique. When I leave here, I'll have a bottle of St. Thomas beer and I will toast your monastery.
Okay,
Thank you
this
so
is a
much.
good beer also. So don't worry about that.
Oh,
Okay,
wonderful.
God bless you. Thank you.